Okay, so here we are. These are quick messages from Spirit. I like to call them rapid readings. What used to happen in the spiritualist churches, they called them platform readings. So the medium would stand up on the platform at the church, and she would just start spitting out things for people. And when someone in the church knew that it was for them, they would raise their hand or yell out, "Hey, that's my uncle," or "That's my brother." I don't like to do that, because when I started doing that, people were just kind of sitting there with this glazed look on their eyes, and I was getting loved ones coming through that no one was recognizing. And then a day later, someone would email me and say, "Hey, Donna, now I know who Jamie was." And I'm like, that's too late. Jamie's come and gone. So I stopped doing that now. I like it when you say your name and then I just spit out. So being aware that what may come through for you, some words of encouragement from your spirit guide, there may be a loved one that comes through. Okay, just be open to all possibilities. So I'm going to start with Jolene first. She already has her microphone unmuted. So I'm just going to ask her to close her eyes, take a deep breath in, and state her name for me.
Jolene.
Thank you. So our mother is here already, Jeanette. Our mother is here already. She passed recently. She's knocking on the door. She's like, knock, knock, knock. Hello, you guys. Let me in a little bit more. She says, before it felt like a swinging door, like I came through when you needed me, but then I was booted back out through the swinging door. And I'm like, oh, Mom, I'm so sorry. Neither of us meant for that to happen. So she's saying, she's knocking on the door, wanting to be more of a person for us. And I'm like, person? She says, yes, as opposed to mother. She wants to be more of a soul for us. She wants to be more of, I can give you what you need, but you do not want to view me as your mother. Do you understand that, Jolene?
Yes.
Yes, I understand that too, Mom. Thank you. She says, I kind of like the swinging door action. It gave me a little, like, I felt like I could walk because, I wasn't very fast as I was aging. So I feel like I pound open that swinging door. But I said, it doesn't look like a double swinging door. She says, no, it was a single swinging door. It was kind of weird. I would come in and I would leave, come in, ask the question. So I said, Mom, were we asking the question or were you just coming through? She goes, that's a good question, Donna. I was just coming through because in a swinging door, I could see what was going on the other side. Do you understand?
Yes.
So I saw what was going on your side of the veil. I don't believe it's a veil, but on your side of the swinging door, you guys were on the inside. I was on the outside. So she's like, look, you don't have to be on the inside anymore. Come on out. It's wide open spaces on the outside. There's a lot more going on the outside. Do we understand that, Jolene?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So being on the inside, wow. The inside feels cramped to me. The inside feels dark to me because it's like she's opening up into this bar room. That's all I can view it as, the old Western type saloons. And when she walks in, it's dark in there. It's smoky in there. There's smell of gunk in there. There's the floor. There's alcohol smell. And I'm like, I'm not very comfortable on the inside. She says, exactly. I'm trying to make it less comfortable for you to be on the inside and come to the outside where the air is free. The expansion is free. Your evolution is free. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Oh, I totally get that. That makes me feel so very much like more in touch with my mother than I have in the past. I'm thanking her as I move along. I'm asking her, does the inside mean the inside or does the inside mean ugh? She says, it's the space you put yourself in. You see how these readings can be for everybody, not just for the person I'm reading. So everybody that listens to this later on too is going to get something from this. So the inside is where you put yourself, not the inner part of you that you go to seek and pull things out of. It's the inside that you put yourself in, this box, this hologram. I've spoken of it many times in readings. So it's time to put yourself out of that inside and come out into the light, come out into, there's so much more for you out here. Got it? Yes, I love that too. Thank you so much, Mother. Soul who was our mother. Thank you so much, Jolene, for bringing that piece of Mom out.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody deep breath in and out. Jolene, go ahead. Tell me who's next.
Hannah.
Hannah, go ahead and unmute yourself. Hey, how are you tonight?
Good, how are you?
I'm very good, Hannah. Thanks. Thanks for joining. All right, deep breath in and out, Hannah. And say your name for me.
Hannah.
Hannah, the first thing I'm seeing is you as this youngster, younger than you are. This youngster of you is running down the street, bouncing a ball, having a grand time playing with this ball as she bounces it along. Can you see that image with me, Hannah?
Mm-hmm.
It's a blue ball. It's not that big, but it's one of those. Did you ever play dodgeball in high school? And it's really soft, squishy ball, so it doesn't hurt so much when it hits you in the face.
Yeah.
So Spirit's saying, that's the type of ball we want you to bounce, because sometimes that ball is going to bounce back up and hit you in the face because you weren't paying attention to the bouncing piece. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Spirit's saying life is like a bouncing ball. You have to follow it. When you take your attention, this is really good. When you take your attention off the bouncing ball, it tends to hit you in the face, doesn't it, Hannah?
Yeah.
Yeah, damn it. This is really good. I'm like, this is really good for the first two. Okay, so here you are bouncing your blue flexible ball. It's a dark blue, not a light blue, but you're on the outside. Let's go back to what Jolene and I were just speaking of. You're on the outside, though. You're running along the outside streets, and you're watching all the houses zoom by you as you're not running. Sometimes you run, sometimes you walk, but you're watching the houses. And when you're watching the houses, what does that say about the ball?
You don't pay attention?
You don't pay attention to the ball. So what you're looking at is everything that's around you as opposed to everything that's in front of you. Does that make sense to you, Hannah?
Yeah.
Yeah, good sense. But it's nice to look at the houses every once in a while. So what would I suggest? What is Spirit suggesting that you do right now in order to look at the houses around you?
Is that a question?
That's a question.
I guess just pay attention to what's in front instead of what's around.
So what if you wanted to look at what's around you? What would you do? What would you do literally in this physical world if you wanted to pay attention to what's around you instead of what's in front of you?
I'm not sure.
You'd stop for a moment.
Oh, yeah.
You'd stop. You'd pause. I love that word pause. You'd put your life on pause for a moment, literally hit that pause button and sit, whether it's in meditation or just sitting out by the water. Do you like to sit out by the water? Are you in an area where you can sit out by the water?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great. They like it when you sit out by the water. They like it because the breeze helps you release things that have already been stuck. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Hannah, good luck with your bouncing blue ball.
Thank you.
Pay attention. We don't want to see red marks on your face because you got hit by the ball. Okay? That was a good one for all of us, guys. A good one for all of us. We pay attention to the bouncing ball, okay? Otherwise, it's going to hit us smack dab in the face. If we're moving through life to me would be the bouncing ball, and we're aware of everything that's in front of us, it can't hit us in the face. It can't hit us. If we're looking at the house just to me represented, symbolizing everything that's on this way, everything that's this way. It was always looking to the right too, Hannah. The houses were always on the right, which is masculine side, which tells me you're looking at a little bit too much of that. I need to be stronger. You don't. I need to be more ego driven. You don't. Just work with those houses. Okay. If you need to step into those houses and see what's going on. Great. Thanks so much for Hannah. Everybody, for joining Hannah. Everybody, deep breath in and out. Everybody gets how this works if you haven't been in one of these quickie sessions? Okay, Jolene, who's next?
Lizzie.
Lizzie, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good, nice and relaxed, right?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Everybody, full breath in and out. And Lizzie, would you state your name for me?
Lizzie.
Thank you. Lizzie, I feel that in the past for you, we'll say maybe 10 years in the past, your seeking has been on your hands and knees. Your seeking has been, how do I present myself to me? How do I present myself to you, Lord? I've never used that name, I never used the Lord's name in a reading before, but I feel that seeking on your hands and knees, that feeling of the need to have to be on my hands and knees and say, oh Lord, show me. Do you understand that, Lizzie?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. And there have been spirits beside you as you do the hands and knee things. There have been spirits beside you, right side, left side, that have been following you and guiding you. They have been walking with you, but you weren't ready to stand up and fully say, oh Lord, I know you're right here, and I know I'm right here, and I know the two of us can do this. Do you understand?
Yes.
You felt that this walking on hands and knees was some sort of penance, some sort of ritual, some sort of, you understand penance?
Somewhat, but not fully. I have
What's
to
the
look up
word?
the word.
Yeah, what's the word when you go into the confessional booth, all you Catholic people, Jolene, when you go in the professional booth and the priest gives you a penance, right? Isn't that what it's called?
Yes.
Yes. So the priest will give you a penance, which is say 2 Hail Marys to our fathers, or go and go help the poor, or go help it, right? That is your penance. You felt that walking on your hands and knees and not acknowledging that you are the God within has been your penance. Do you understand?
Yes.
Again, the last 10 or so years, the past. I don't know why, if it happened the last 10 years, why it wasn't happening prior to those 10 years, sorry. But so the Donna in me was questioning what happened before those 10 years, and they're not showing me. But it's almost like the time before those 10 years was blank for you, really nothing, nondescript. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
Thank you so much. So now going forward, right, these guides, they want you to accept their help. Again, you have to say, I accept your help in order to stand up and accept that Godness within me. Do you understand that I am-ness, that consciousness, that soul, that everything that you are, that the Lord was back then is within you? Do you understand?
Yes.
I see everything bright in front of you. Even when you were walking on your hands and knees, everything is bright. You've been going forward, but during those 10 years, your head was down. And in the past, that's the way we prayed, right? Our head was down, but now we're like up. This new paradigm is about openness. This new paradigm, let's open to, yes, what's coming. Show me what's next. Do you understand?
Yes.
You see, oh, everybody here, you can gain something from this. No more with the head down, but with the head up. Oh, of course, Hannah, you have to put your head down because you're bouncing a ball. Do you understand? Yes. All right, Lizzie, thank you so much for joining us. I just checked in one more moment. So please allow your spirit guides. They're 2 very tall beings. They have long robes. They're more the color of a white, but not a bright white. They're more of a grayish white. I would say they're more otherworldly, more star being types. Do you understand?
Yes.
Just say them right and left, help me up, help me up, as you help up, the 3 of you become one. Do you understand?
Right and left, help me up. Got it.
Thank you so much for joining, Lizzie. I appreciate it. Everybody, deep breath in and out. There's always a theme to these readings, and when you get down to those last few, you're like, oh, now I see what that first one meant. So the theme is movement, growth, and opening. 2021. Okay, Jolene, please. Who's next?
Margaret.
Margaret. Fabulous. All right. Full breath in and out, Margaret, and then state your name for me.
Margaret.
Thank you. The first thing I see was this rush to be here. Not in this meeting, this rush to be here at this present moment in time. I feel there were 4 or 5 of you with all different feelings coming forward to this moment in time. What's the date today? January 31st. Exactly this date, 2021. There was this rush of many of you coming forward to be here in this moment of January 31st, 2021. I feel the other yous, I'll call them all yous, right? The other yous coming forward, and you were using other people to help you come into this moment. And the yous that were the other yous, this rush of yous, were accepting the help of other people to get you here in this present moment. At some point, you said, January 31st, 2021, I'm done with that. I'm done with using other people to get me to where I need to go, and I'm going to be where I need to go. Do you understand that, Margaret?
Yes.
Beautiful. No good, bad, right, or wrong. Everybody knows that. But in this moment, they keep making me say, January 31st, 2021. Did something happen to you, Margaret, where you woke up and you said, this is going to be a different day than most days? Was something different about today? Is something washing through you today that's different other than yesterday, and that's going to be different? It's going to be different.
Maybe.
Maybe is good. I'll take that, because I certainly feel like, again, they keep saying January 31st, 2021 is the day where you're going to take all the me's and come into one me and no longer use. You don't need those other people, Spirit is saying. You thought that other people meant to push you forward. Right, other people, sure, they're in our life, but it's us that make the step forward. It's us that uses our own outer stuff to move forward. We don't need them. We can always just do it. Do you understand?
Yes.
However, this is life and we accept that. The question is, how long are you going to keep a person now in your life? This is interesting because now going forward, you're one and you don't need all those other me's and you don't need all those other people. Do you understand?
Yes.
So I feel now as you float forward, I love floating as opposed to trudging or boots filled with sand. As you float forward into anything beyond January 31st, 2021, I don't know why they keep making me repeat that, January 31st, 2021. Anything that goes now beyond you, there will be people coming in, but you have to make that decision. Is this something I can learn from? Or is this something that's their stuff trying to put it on me? Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes, beautiful. So again, look forward to more of you. No good, bad, right, or wrong. It doesn't mean that people aren't going to stay in your life, but there won't be the push and pull. There won't be, Margaret, go here. Do you understand?
Yes.
Metaphorically. Thank you so much for joining, Margaret. I so appreciate your beautiful presence.
Thank you.
Everybody, deep breath in and out. Jolene, who is my next one?
Susanna.
Susanna, here you go. You ready? You get how this works? You're good, Susanna?
Yes.
All right, all right. So I'm going to ask you to take a breath and then just say your name for me, please.
Susanna.
Thank you, dear. I see that there has been an entering of the new for you. I'm going to say the last week, the last few weeks, maybe the last month, there has been this entering of the new where you have accepted this pattern in the past that has held you back. You use that pattern now to enter the new. There have been people in front of you that have said, I don't know if they're physical or non-physical, these people in front of you have said, Susanna, welcome to the new. Like if there were a swinging door in the new, they would be tearing that swinging door off the hinges and say, come here, come hither. This is the new for you. Do you understand that, Susanna? Yes, no, or maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe is okay. So we look at metaphors when I do these readings. You look at bigger pictures. And when I say soul saying welcome, again, I don't know if they're physical or non-physical. You're familiar with those terms?
Yes.
Yes? Yes, thank you. So I see yourself as in the past stating to yourself, nope, I'm not there yet. Not ready to go there yet. I'm just going to stay here a little bit longer. 2021 is about no more longers. This is now moving forward into the new. This is the new paradigm. This is the new you. Do you understand that, Susanna?
Well, I did have a vaccine, so maybe that's changing the future.
That's a little bit too physical for me. Let's look at more metaphorically, pushing forward into the new. I feel even if this isn't resonating right at this moment, it will. What's happening in the new is all of us are being pushed beyond the old paradigm. We're pushed to not use words anymore that are of the old paradigm. We're pushed into beyond our limits, not our limits, beyond our limits. If you haven't listened to Magic Dictionary events in the past that I've held, listen to a couple of those about growth, the words about moving into the new. So before the old new, I don't know, the old paradigm was wide like a funnel. And then everybody tried to trickle through this, right, the spout of the funnel, but it got kind of jammed up over the last year. This is the first time I've seen this from Spirit, this analogy. It got kind of jammed up. So not as many people were allowed to get through into the new. Is everybody visualizing that with me, seeing that pattern of the new? So thank you. So as you're coming through this, a lot of us were pushed back into the old. right? We saw 2020, a lot of us pushed back. We weren't able to do the new yet. 2021, what happened to that funnel? That funnel was clipped off at the spout and now is full blown open. Do you understand?
Yes.
Susanna, everybody now has that ability to push and go forward, but there is no pushing. Because why? We have all become one to get through. Right? I get it. Thank you, Spirit. You're viewing millions and trillions of people coming through this funnel. Oh, that's even better. But now that we all become one, we could have literally made it through that funnel, but not enough of us in 2020 did that work to do that. No good, bad, right, or wrong. So Spirit came along and clipped off that, and now it's open again. Thank you, Spirit. Everybody say thank you, universe. Thank you, Spirit. That clearly was meant to happen. That's the first time I've ever stated something like that. That's a really big revelation, Susanna. Thank you so much for bringing that through. So do you understand the new and the new paradigm? The you going through that funnel has now opened up. So you will recognize going forward, woohoo, bigger stuff. Get it?
Yes. Yes.
Be open to bigger stuff.
Yes.
Because now you're pulling in the bigger stuff of everybody else too, the oneness. No good, bad, right, or wrong, but the oneness, find yourself there more. Thank you so much for joining, Susanna. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Welcome, everybody. Full breath in and out. Jolene, who's next?
Sue.
Sue. Sue is here. Sue, how are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Very good. So good to see you. I'm in Florida and I know you're in the snow. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to take a full breath and then state your name for me, please.
Sue.
Thank you, Sue. So I saw this little trudging along, we'll say the last couple of months. Like instead of your boots being filled with sand, they're kind of filled with snow. So there's moments of the last couple of months, maybe trudging, not so sure about the steps forward, not so sure about what I'm going to see in the steps forward, maybe having a little physical pain as you reach forward metaphorically into the new, now that we all know about the new, as you reach metaphorically fully into the new. Again, trudging over the last couple of months, but it's in a bright area. I read everything that's going on. So it's not in a dark area, it's in a bright area. I don't feel you like in the saloon where my sister and I were. I feel you're out there. You're out there in this openness, but you still haven't convinced yourself that out in the openness, there is anything for you, because in this moment, you don't see anything in the new. Would that make sense to you, Sue?
Yes.
Thank you so much. So remember the funnel analogy, that you're now going to be pushed into the new. So all that brightness that is in front of you, let's just say, let's take off those snow-ridden boots. Let's start walking forward. This isn't about grounding. This isn't about not being able to. This is about saying to yourself, saying to you that it's time to move. We have to move. That Spirit's here guiding, but they can't push you. So what's happening in 2021 is everybody is pushing everybody, whether it's, the first time you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, I noticed something different. And I'm going to say, you're welcome, because maybe people like me who've been doing this work for 40 years have done that pushing, have done that work, and have been doing it through 2020, and now is ready for 2021, the new paradigm, and everything that's meant for you to become the shift and you to become multidimensional. Do you understand that, Sue?
Yes.
So, your father, is he in the non-physical world?
Yes.
So your father's coming through. Who's Pete? Is there a Pete somewhere in your life?
My son.
So your father comes through, boom, forward like this to me and says, why doesn't she talk to me? And then when she talks to me, she doesn't wait until I say anything. Would that make sense to you, Sue?
Yes.
Would Pete be more in touch maybe with Grandpa than you are?
Maybe.
He's over here. Pete's over here. Your dad's over here. You're over here. He's facing me, which tells me he wants to speak. He wants to talk. I would get in touch with Pete. and say, I know you, Sue, but I had no idea your son's name was Pete. We agree with that?
Yeah.
So I would say get a hold of him. I think he's looking at your father somehow, looking for some sort of guidance, whether he knows it unconsciously or consciously. I don't know the answer to that. But let's hook up those two. Do you understand?
Yes.
I feel that Pete is like spinning his wheels. He's like on a bike spinning, but he's on like a stationary bike. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Is that literal or figurative?
Yes. Both.
Both. Love that analogy. Like he's making my elbow hurt though, because I got to do this with my hands. So Pete. He's definitely moving forward though, right? He's facing me. He's not facing behind. He's not going the other way, but he definitely wants that image forward. But I would say get him in touch with Dad. Do you understand? Let's do
Yeah.
that and see what
Mhm.
happens. Thank you so much, Sue, for
Thank
joining.
you.
That was fun. That was fun bringing Pete through and your dad through. Woohoo!
Yay.
Jolene, who's next?
Annalie.
Annalie, everybody take a deep breath in and out. Annalie, you can unmute yourself. And take a deep breath and state your name for me.
Annalie.
Annalie, you've been working hard this last couple of weeks. Like stamping your feet and saying, I want to move, I want to move, I want to move. You know it's not about that, right? You can't force yourself. You can't like stamp your feet any harder to make yourself move. Do you understand?
Yes.
I feel that there's people beside you, both sides of you, that are squishing you. And that could be that funnel thing, but we're doing literally in your life right now, not metaphorically funnel, literally in your life right now. These people beside you are squishing you, and I'm like, Anna, get through. Where it's also stopping your voice. Do you understand?
Yes.
And I feel you're looking at them like, will you please let me go? And you're looking at them, will you please let me go? And I'm like, just go. You don't need anybody's permission. Do you understand?
Yes.
Right and left side to me, people on both sides, masculine, feminine, you understand that. Feminine, you understand that. A big message right now, you don't need anybody's permission. Ooh, I know you, and I know you see that one. Oh no, you don't need anybody's permission.
Mhm.
Spirit is saying, you know, when you got those people so close to you, they're like, how do you expect us to get in there?
Mm.
Literally and figuratively, those people. You got it? So
Yeah.
here's what you need to image. In front of you is the new, like everybody, right? It's open, but you're like walking like this. Oh, I got to take little steps. I can't move with all these people beside me. You're like the Lego creatures that can only move their hands like this. That's a good image in my head. I asked it to go away now. Okay. Spirit is in front of you now because these people are on the side of you. So you need to look out, look forward to them. Remember that first reading? It was about what? Looking forward and being okay, not like Hannah who has to look at the bouncing ball. Okay. Everybody's different, but everybody's going the same place. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Your mother's mother in the non-physical world.
She's here.
So would she be one that would say to you, come on, do this. Come on. Why aren't you doing it? Yeah.
Yes.
No, she's here in my head too, doing it to you. So she is the one before you, pulling that out of you. Do you understand? You need to listen to her more. You need to sit down in that vibration a little bit more. Do you understand?
Mhm. Yes.
Thank you, Anna, for playing our game today. Appreciate everybody.
Thank
Full
you.
breath in and out. I apologize. I'm talking loud. Sometimes I don't understand how loud I'm talking, and I'm just talking like this. Jolene, who's next?
Dove.
Dove.
Hi,
How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Okay, Dove, deep breath in and out, and then say your name.
Dove.
They're literally showing me we're going to have to give you some wings. We're going to have to give you some wings because this walking shit ain't working for you. No good, bad, right, or wrong. Literally, figuratively, obviously figuratively, they're going to have to give you some wings. So I've got two They're guardian angels. I haven't brought guardian angel through in a while. 2 guardian angels. I don't know how many you're supposed to have. It's not something I've ever dealt with. But 2 guardian angels. They're right and left. They're not masculine and feminine. They're just 2. They say, we're 2, we're 2, we're 2. We got to put one wing on, and then the other one puts one wing on. And I'm asking, why do you need 2 people to put her wings on? And they're like, why? Because they're so massive. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So they're not going to put them on you folded up, because that would be too easy, wouldn't it? Because then you'd have to do some work. But it's a lot easier if they put them on you when they're already unfurled, isn't it? Ah, sweet. So as they put these wings on you, they haven't yet, but they're saying in the next month or 2, they're going to ask you to notice some back pain you might have. Do not worry. That is them working on your wings. So in those moments of that, they want you to lie flat on your belly so that they can work on you. Do you understand?
Yes.
These wings, they're showing them to me. They're showing them like before they put them on. Like, you know, when you go shopping at the Home Depot and you're like, oh, I'll take that set of wings. That looks really good. And there's this picture of these huge wings, but they're in a box, right? They're not going to unfurl these wings at the Home Depot, right? This is a really good image in my head of people walking through the Home Depot and having these boxes of what the wings that they want. Everybody laughed, right? That was funny. If you were in my head, you'd think it was funnier. So what they're telling you is we took the box off the shelf for you. The box is now with us. So in the next couple of months, we're going to be opening up that box, pulling out your wings. We have to unfurl them for you, get all the wrinkles out. They don't need to iron them, but they'll get the wrinkles out for you, and then they're going to place them on your back. How does that feel, though?
It's felt like a little bit of pressure, definitely.
Welcome to For the first couple of years, Donna speaking, for the first couple of years, I had handprints on my back pushing me forward. But there's just that simple thank you. And there's just that simple, I know I'm ready. It's as simple. It's what you choose to do after they're on your back, okay? You can fly over everything that you need to. You could just, what's the word you're looking for? You can just peruse the whole landscape of what you need. You don't have to do anything. You can just fly over and look at the ground. Right? Wings don't necessarily have to be flapping to be used either. They can just sit there and you could furl them back up behind you and said, I'm getting used to my wings. Thank you, guardian angels. You understand?
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining. Good
Thank
luck with
you.
your new wings.
Thank you so much.
From the Home Depot. The best thing about the Home Depot is you didn't have to pay for them.
Yeah, it's funny. I love Home Depot.
So that was for you. You see how this all works? They didn't say Costco, Margaret. They said Home Depot. Sorry. You can't go get wings at Costco. Though I'm going to go into Home Depot in a couple of days. I'm going to say, where are your wings? The boxed wings, where are they? And the guy will be like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Follow me. I'm going to do that. Totally going to do that. Okay, everybody, deep breath in and out. Margaret, I was at Costco the other day. I think of you every time I'm at Costco. Jolene, who is next?
Deepa.
Deepa, unmute yourself.
Hi, Donna.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Okay, Deepa, deep breath in and out, and then state your name for me.
Deepa?
Deepa, I feel that the plans have been laid out for you. They're in front of you. You know, when someone is standing at like a desk and looking at blueprints on this big desk, I feel that Spirit has already laid out the plans for you. That you're looking at them, you know, you're running your finger, but you're all by yourself looking at them. And I'm like, you know, that doesn't work. Ask people to help you, because sometimes it's really hard to read blueprints, right? There are a bunch of lines, there are a bunch of numbers. I'm not a numbers gal. There are a bunch of numbers, there are a bunch of measurements. I just don't understand anything about blueprints. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So Spirit's saying we've already laid the blueprints out for you, but you need to ask for the guidance, the support in reading the blueprints. You understand that?
Okay. Yes.
No good, bad, right, or wrong. We've all had these moments in our lives where we said, crap, I don't know what's coming. I see what I think is coming, but I don't know how to get there, right? So we
Yes.
see the blueprint, but we just don't know how to get there. Hello, welcome to my life the last 8 or 9 years. I see what was going to happen. Like I saw the house built from the blueprint,
Yeah.
but I'm still working on the blueprint.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things to do to build a house. It's not just the blueprint and then the house, right?
Yep.
You got to till the soil. You got to perk it. You got to put in the pipes. You got to put in the septic. You got to do all of that. You got to put up the bones, the structure. You got to put up the 2x4s. You got to figure out how many rooms you want, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So no good, bad, right, or wrong, but it's time to ask spirit for interpretation with the blueprint. It's time to begin to visualize, yes, the house, which would be the house, right? A metaphor for whatever's coming. But look on the inside and what you need to do to build up the outside. Got it?
Yep.
I feel you have been stuck. That would be
Mhm.
stuck. You've been asking the questions: where, when, how, why? And Spirit's like, whenever you're ready, dude, whenever you're ready. So it's not about them, it's about you. It's always about us. It's always about us. It's not about you asking someone, some spirit guide when. It's about you saying, I'm ready. I'm going to do this. Just help me. And they're like, we're here to guide. We've always been here. We can't do it for you. Right? It's going to be the recurring theme in 2021. We can't do it for you. You have to build that and look at the interior, look at the specs with your guides. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining, Deepa. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Everybody,
Anna.
deep breath in and out. Jolene, who is next?
Mina.
Hi,
Nina.
Donna.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Your son is here. Your son has been growing over the last few months, I'll say. He's saying, I resonated a lot with that last reading. He's saying, I've been laying out blueprints for my mother for so long. Do you understand? But she's been
Yes.
sitting back, standing there waiting for someone to tell her what the blueprints mean. Get it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So blueprints for you, life right now, life in general. And the blueprints are dark blue, just like they are. That's why they call them blueprints. And the lettering is all white and it's small. And Donna in her head is saying to your son, I feel like I need to just like maximize it. You know, like use my fingers and go to make it bigger because I can't see it. I feel like I need to hit that maximize button instead of that minimize button. So your son's telling you, stop hitting the minimize button. You are not minimal. You are maximal. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Stop hitting the minimum button, Mom. Stop hitting the minimum button. I need you to hit the maximum button. What the maximum button is growth, the recurring theme. What the maximum button means is I can see my blueprint and I don't have to use a magnifying glass. Do you understand?
Yes.
He says, I've been here wanting to read it with you, but you're the one that has to say, please maximize this for me. Please make this louder. Please make this bigger. Please make this more expansive, brighter. Do you understand?
Yes.
You got to be ready. There's no doubt about it. No good, bad, right, or wrong. You got to be ready. You're only ready when you're ready. When you begin to say, I am ready, there you go. And we'll be looking at the back of you as you move forward. Do you understand?
Yes.
He says, I'm not moving. He says, I helped you with the desk. I help you build the desk that put the blueprints on. Is that literal or metaphorical?
It's literal.
So he built a desk. Was there a desk?
Not build the desk, but kind of, like computer, set up the computer and
He did all of that for you when he was here.
yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So now he's saying, I help you build the desk. I helped you build the desk. Now maximize everything in your life. Maximize it. Right? We're going beyond limitations now. Don't think that where you are, well, this is where I wanted to be in 10 years, and I'm here. So now what do? You visualize the next 10 years. Go beyond your limitations. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
He's right here helping you. Thank you so much Mina, for joining. I know how
Amazing.
I know how much that
Amazing.
meant to you. Very good. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody, deep breath in and out. Jolene, I'm feeling one more. Who do we got left?
Ruby.
Ruby, she's the last one?
Yes.
I did everybody. Right. Ruby, how are you, hon?
I'm good.
Really good, right? Here, you've been in a few of the sessions. You understand how all of these kind of just circle into everyone. This constant recurring theme of growth of 2021. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, Ruby, close your eyes, take a breath, and say your name for me.
Ruby.
Can you up your microphone just a tad, Ruby?
Sure.
Ruby, I feel there's just been a little bit of angst lately. I almost started to use the word anger, but I'll use angst. Do you understand?
Yes.
Like, what the? And why the?
Yes.
And I thought, but now it's, right? So with all those statements that Spirit had me make, there's always that first, but then there's not the end. There's always that, why the, what the, I thought. Do you understand?
Yes.
The beginning thoughts, but never the ending thoughts. So the ending thoughts are there. Just speak it out. Why the heck didn't I, blah, 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 yada, 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 and then say, oh, wait, I know why. Because the more you blame, we'll say Spirit, the more you blame your own soul's purpose here. Do you understand? The more you don't take that responsibility on. Look, this is human Ruby that needs to accept where I am right now and not have to question why so much. Do you understand?
Yes.
Look, we're all doing that. 2021, right? Let's be here, but let's also know that we've made it through the funnel. So now we're not feeling squeezed and choked. Do you understand?
Yes.
So I would see all of us here tomorrow morning waking up and saying, wow, things are certainly a heck of a lot clearer today. I'm so glad that funnel was clipped. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Your father's been a big supporter in your life. Is that true?
Not really.
So is he in the non-physical world or the physical world?
He's in the physical world.
So he's feeling very supportive to me. He's feeling very, but I don't feel words coming out of his mouth, but I'm feeling very support for him. Like he wants to see you succeed. He wants to feel you. He wants to know that you're moving. Does that make sense? More sense?
Yep. Yes.
He says, I've told her again and again and again to always trust herself. Not to worry about other things, but to trust herself. Is he doing that unconsciously, like through his higher self, or has he done that to you literally?
It's hard to say. We don't have that. We're not that close. So
Okay.
that's probably why it's subconscious, because
I understand. I understand. So know that, please. Know that that is what he's doing. He is wanting you to trust yourself. Is there another father that might be in the non-physical world? Someone that you might have thought was a father or was a fatherly figure that might be in the non-physical world?
well, like my grandfather.
Would it be
and-
his father, your father's father?
No, it'd be my mom's father.
Your mother's father?
Yes.
Now, this is more on your father's side, that there's another male figure stepping through that might be fatherly to you. Was his brother, an uncle, nothing like that? So let's assume that you have two very masculine figures right now telling you, trust yourself. Do you know how, Donna speaking, do you know how instrumental that would have been for me if my father said to me, trust yourself? Who can agree with that? If your father said to you, always trust yourself. My father's in the in the spirit world now, Jolene. My father's in the spirit world now, and he's like, yeah, I never said that. I'm like, no, you didn't. But that's okay. I learned how to do it. So what you're getting now is a double whammy of fatherly figures saying to you, trust yourself. Implicitly, not a little bit, not a medium amount, but exponentially. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
I like what they're doing for you. In my head, they're a little bit in front of you on your right side. So when you look at them, they are in front of you on your right side, masculine side. Makes perfect sense. But they're giving me all the thumbs up. Everybody's giving me the thumbs up. When you guys did it, they all did it. That's it. That's it. Do you understand, Ruby?
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Ruby. It's good to see you again. All right, everybody, deep breath in and out. Shake it out. So I put a lot of my words in there, knowing how I feel when I do that sort of thing. It's always so stimulating. It's always so, I think one of the reasons I've been wanting to do these type of readings for so long, but never had space to do them. And I feel that 2021 also made space. My mother passing made space. 2021 made space. When I do these readings, I feel so much is coming out of my mouth now from Spirit. So much that we need to know that I can't gather by sitting here by myself. I do gather some things when they talk, but not universal things, not something that all of us as a race, as a soul evolutionary race need to know. Do you understand? So everything that you're going to be looking at going forward now in this new is for the evolution. You need to say, well, that just happened, but what does that mean? Because I feel different about that. What does that symbol mean? And then Google it. All things mean something, all for you. Last night I watched a movie on Netflix. It was so good. The Dig, about an archaeological dig back in 1938. World War I was just starting over in England. And the dig brought up this huge ship that was buried deep in the earth. It was the grave of this masterful, whoever he was. And it was just so resonating with me. I was like, I am so on top of that. What is that? Why does that make me feel so good? Why does the woman who owned that, anybody else watch that? Yeah, The Dig? Yeah, Jolene, that was great. Something about that woman. And at the end, I recognized that I was told, I didn't know anything about this. It's called Sutton Hoo. I didn't know anything about this place, but that woman ended up donating all the jewels that were the biggest jewel intake of any archaeological dig so far. She donated everything. Instead of getting paid for it, it was her property. She donated everything to the British Museum. After that, hang on, Julie. After that, I went in Wikipedia'd this woman. And there was one line that said of this woman that she was a spiritualist and went and spoke to Reverend Parrish. I forget his first name. And I've been Googling Parrish because he's a medium from a long time ago. And I'm like, that was it. She was a spiritualist. That was it. She believed. She also walked on that property and felt there is something here. And that's what she made the guys come and excavate. So I feel that when I walk into a place, when I walk on property, there's something here. 2021 is about you recognizing there's something there always for you. Do you understand? There's always something there for you. Everybody, thumbs up. Jolene, The Dig is what it's called on Netflix.
I followed the exact same path as you last night. That's all.
You
I
watched
did
it
the
last
exact
night
same
also?
things. Yeah, and I went and Wikipedia'd or we watched the videos of the.
Yep, I did too. I did too. That's my sister. We're on that same path. It was such a beautiful experience to read that line and say, thank you, Spirit. That's why I felt a connection with this woman, because she was a spiritualist, which is the camp that I was, did a lot of weeks at, learning to be a medium. Does anybody want to comment on their reading or want to ask a question at this point? Raise your hand first, and then I will call on you to unmute yourself. Anybody? Susanna, yes, thank you so much. Go ahead, unmute yourself.
So I watched this Netflix movie, Surviving Death. Have you seen it?
I have.
So I had I wasn't really interested in readings and so on until I had an out-of-body experience when I was 40. And so I really liked watching that show because it made me realize, you know, it's not just me in touch with the spirit world. And when I died from respiratory failure, my father had been dead for 2 years and he came to visit me. And that event, like it was yesterday, changed my whole life, and I'm open to everything. And I really appreciate, you know, what you're doing and allowing me to join you.
I also enjoyed it, that series. I binged the whole thing when I got back from New York. And I know what it's doing is putting it out more mainstream. And there's a lot of videos, and you could research videos about mediums doing what I do for years. But this putting it out there, good, bad, right, or wrong, because there were a lot of things they didn't go into, and a lot of things that left people, I'm sure, with a lot of questions, but yet it's out there. So I'm glad you watched that. I'm so glad you're still here and that your dad made a presence known to you. Thank you, Susanna, for sharing. Anybody else want to share? Annalie, I see you doing something. Do you want to share? Raise your hand if you'd want to share, and I'll call. Go ahead, Annalie. Unmute yourself. She's having trouble finding the unmute button.
There we go. There we go.
There you go. Go.
You know, I just wanted to share with you, just because it's just so funny how everything came full circle. Everything that you said in my reading was absolutely right. My job is killing me. It's just like squeezing me. And I literally do have to ask my coworkers, people that I trust. The HR manager and I are becoming really close. Actually, Diana, who you met yesterday. And I literally have to ask permission sometimes. Like, I need somebody to tell me it's okay to take a day off. Like, can you just say those words to me, because I can't give myself the time off. And the funny thing is, I've been in this job. I chose this job over another one that my grandma was kind of part of. I went to her house the morning of my interview. I flew up here to Sacramento for it. I had coffee with her. She said, "You're going to get it." And it just, like, she had this calm demeanor about it. And I trusted that. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get it, because my grandma said I'm going to get it. And anyways, I got the job, but I turned it down for the one that I have now. And I often think about, like, God, I need to get back with my grandma, because there was just some feeling, like, I kind of almost, like, I don't know, I feel like I just need to sit with her, because something will help me figure out how to get out of this one and into the new. Like, just being in her presence, I feel like, is going to give me some answers. So it was just so gnarly that you just connected it all so perfectly in this reading.
I'm so glad. I'm so
Thank
glad.
you.
You're so welcome, and good luck with that
Thank
funnel.
Thank you.
It's already clipped. I love the fact that the work, a lot of the major work has been done.
Mm-hmm.
That we don't have to spend 30, 40 years doing this spiritual work. That the fact that those of us that have done it and pushed that, made that way, call them whatever you want to call it. I don't like to call it anything. I just like to say, this was my purpose, so I'm doing it. Come on. But I just don't turn around anymore. There were times when what you called, many people have called us way showers, light workers. I don't like either of those terms, old paradigm, but have turned around to say, are you coming? Here, let me put my hand out. And no more. I'm going, because somebody needs to go more. Somebody needs to go further, so that everybody else can say, oh, it's there. I see it. Get it? So yeah, a little pat on the back for myself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Anybody else want to share? Raise your hand and we'll call on you. Lizzie, thank you.
So it's not really more of a share. I know you said I can ask a quick question.
Yes.
And it's like in my gut, you better ask, because if you don't ask, you're not going to know. And if it's going to stay in the back of my head. So my question for you is, because you said call on left and right whenever I need, but I feel like I've been asking guides to step in. So am I missing something? Am I not connecting something?
Yeah, you. You're the one that has to do the work. We can ask for support and guidance, but we're the ones that have to keep. So what's that about is present moment. I recognized it like a week ago. I sat in meditation and I'm working towards something in my meditation. I'm working to get somewhere in my meditation. So I sit down, and every time it doesn't happen, I'm like, okay, what did you do wrong, Donna? But this time I sat in meditation and all this stuff started flooding in, and I went, I get that. It really is only about me. But I kept asking for more. What does that do about the present moment? It means I wasn't in the present moment. I was in the more moment. The moment of more. I've just coined that phrase. The moment of more. I want to be in the present moment. I want to be here in what I have, whether it's more or less. It doesn't exist anymore, because that's duality. The more we move into non-duality, new paradigm, new, we recognize I don't have more or less. I am not rich or poor. I don't have this or have that. I just have everything I need. So more of Lizzie, I'm ready. Thanks for the guidance. I'm ready now.
Okay.
And be open to the signs. The other day, if you read one of my posts on Instagram or Facebook, I was asking one of my guides, JFK, for a sign because I never get signs. I only get words from him. I never get literal signs. Like Lincoln will send me a penny, he'll send me a feather, all fun stuff. But I never get anything from JFK. So I said, I know it's real hard because your coins, like if everybody wants your coin, they don't exactly drop them on the ground or it's hard for you to find one, whatever. So I get that. The next day, after I had asked that, the next day, I'm walking through the store that I refused to go in over the last couple of months because of COVID. But something said, go in the store, Donna. And I went, okay, not many people in the parking lot. I think I'll drive to that store. And there weren't many people in the parking lot, so I went in. Walking through every aisle because I love to walk through every aisle. And then I get to the candy aisle and I'm like, I don't know why I'm walking down the candy aisle. I'm not going to buy any candy. It's all crap candy for me, right? And the first thing I see is this humongous gold $50 with JFK's face on it. If I didn't walk into the store, if I didn't walk down that aisle, I would have never seen that coin, which was my sign from him. You understand?
I do.
Got to get in touch with those inner feelings and say, yep, they are what I just felt, and I'm going to go do it. Thank you for asking that question, Lizzie. It was a great question. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else before we sign off for the evening? That was a fabulous, fabulous hour. That was really good, guys. I mean, really good. So it will be going onto YouTube. Thank you to all you guys who were here with me. Thank you to everybody who watched it through and through and said there are some great signs for the new. Thank you to Jolene. Everybody thank my sister for being the co-host. Thank you so much. And stay looking at your emails. So, because if COVID continues, I'll just keep doing these things. Okay. Yoga I have, if you didn't get that original email, yoga's been a great class every Saturday, 7 or 8 people. It's been a lot of fun. You get to meet my daughter. She would never come to one of these things. So if you want to meet my kid, that's where she'll be. All right, guys, thanks again and have a wonderful evening.
Thanks,
Thank you
Donna.
so much, Donna.
You're so
Thank
welcome.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.